kwa shows bab kubwa, ngoma kali, movies, documentaries, series, talk shows na vipindi vya kuchangamsha, kuelimisha na kufahamisha. Ni hapa tu Maisha Television.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh my God.
Unachukua the best, unatazama na unaipenda. Kwa masuala ya afya, habari kemkem, ukulima, biashara, vipindi vya watoto, hapa ni moto. Maisha TV.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chebet Kerim. Meru Senator Mithika Linturi has been charged with attempted rape contrary to Section 4 of the Sexual Offences Act of 2006 after he was arraigned before the Milimani Law Courts on Tuesday and released on a 200,000 shillings cash bail. Linturi, who denied the charges, is alleged to have attempted to rape a 36-year-old woman at Mayan Villas Hotel in Nanyuki, Laikipia County in January 2021. Linturi is accused of having sneaked into a couple's room in the middle of the night while the woman's husband was away. Bushebi Jr. compiled comprehensive details on this.
Meru Senator Mithika Linturi was on Tuesday, September 14th, charged with attempted rape after he was arraigned before the Milimani Law Courts. In court documents seen by Maisha Television, Linturi is charged with attempting to rape a 36-year-old woman in Laikipia County. The incident is said to have taken place on January 30th this year at Mayan Villas Hotel in Nanyuki. The Meru Senator is also accused of committing an indecent act with an adult, contrary to Section 11A of the Sexual Offences Act of 2006. The Senator was appearing before Senior Principal Magistrate Martha Nazushe, pleaded not guilty to the charges. Through his lawyer Modhomi Thiankolu, the Senator requested to be released on reasonable bail terms. The prosecution led by Evelyn Onunga did not object to his release. However, the prosecuting wanted the cash bail to be conditional. The condition proposed by the prosecution was that Linturi should not interfere with prosecution witnesses directly or indirectly in the event that he is released.
If the police file is here, I think we can get done with the documentation so that we sign the inventory and we are good to go.
Linturi was released on a 200,000 shillings cash bail or an alternative of 500,000 shillings bond by the Nairobi-based court. In August, the Meru senator moved to the High Court in an attempt to block his arrest and prosecution over the same. High Court Judge Weldon Korir declined to grant Linturi conservatory orders. The case will be mentioned on October 26, 2021. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambushabi Jr.
The state body tasked with the Media Regulations Communication Authority of Kenya has sent a word of caution to all media houses, warning them against engaging in lotteries. The authority says that all media outlets should stop the appetite of minting money from gullible Kenyans, promising them heaven through aggressive promotions that breed the culture of gambling.
The bottom line of our submission was that gambling must be conducted in a manner that mainstreams, promotes the public good, not just the commercial interests of those involved in it.
Having received the report from the task force, the Media Council has received summons from the National Assembly to appear before them tomorrow to explain, among other things, the findings of the task force and also explain what we're intending to do in the matter of gambling.
Gambling must be done in a responsible manner at the stipulated times are dictated in the programming code. Doing it out of those set limits and standards could be harmful to certain sections of our communities.
Kakamega County Governor Wycliffe Oparanya has raised a red flag over the rising number of fake academic papers. The governor now wants the trend to stop and has vowed to take a drastic action against suspected officers who found their way in the county employment program with questionable academic papers. Our reporter Amoga Shane brings us the report from Kakamega County.
Cases of public servants possessing fake academic papers is on the rise. Lot with the Kakamega County boss Wycliffe Oparanya planning to do an impromptu checkup.
You should have a unit that checks on this certificate. You know, people just nowadays, people have certificates all over. They print certificates from River Road. It becomes shameful that we have employed someone already is earning, then you discover the certificate is a fraud.
According to the Kenya National Qualification Authority, KNQA statistics, more than 250,000 civil servants are facing the axe on heavy financial penalties for using fake academic certificates to gain entry into public service. The governor asks Public County Board to be vigilant during the recruitment process to deal with the job seekers using fake papers.
So have a unit that checks on all these certificates, whether they are from these whatever colleges they are, established is the college recognized. And first thing you should do is an orientation. You know, when you carry out an orientation, especially when you have employed many people, you discover the weaknesses of the person at that time. So we must have those analytical mind when we are interviewing people.
Governor Oparanya admits that his county has quirks. However, they will follow due legal process to weed them out.
Look at the certificates. Look at the ID, registration and so on. Compare, when did this fellow go to school? Look at the names, because they manipulate the names on the certificate. And it becomes a problem to deliver, to recover such a money. You need a court process to recover the money. And even if you go to court, you are the one who looks like a fool. You never discovered this. And then references, not only for ECD, but references. If someone says he has been working in such a place, can you check, did this person work there or not? And where did he live?
Speaking during a consultative meeting on the scheme of service for the county polytechnic instructors and ECDE teachers, the second-term governor said service delivery goes hand in hand with academic performance. KNQA categorizes fake certificates in 3 phases: those from institutions not accredited to offer the courses, those where one did not meet the entry requirement of the certificate, and those that the person never went to the university or college at all. For Maisha Prime News, I'm Shane.
And Bungoma Best Friends School Bukembe Boys High School, located in Bungoma County, has announced the entry of a new school principal. Mr. Talk to Maisha Television is confident that his new leadership will bring the school back to its known glory. Mr. Felix Wanyama Juma was transferred to the school on 20th August this year. Here is the full report. As the first term of the school calendar is expected to come to an end in less than a month's time, schools are putting all efforts to ensure the syllabus coverage in due time, despite the disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Friends School Bukembe Boys High School, located in Bungoma County, is confident that it will be back to its known glory after receiving a new school principal, Mr. Felix Wanyama Juma, who was transferred to the school on 20th August this year.
Felix Wanyama Juma, the newly transferred principal of Friends School Bukembe Boys. I came here on 20th August and I'm happy I was received well, and I've taken up the challenges in the school, and I know I'm equal to it. So I want to thank the board members, the TAC unit and the ministry unit for bringing me here and having confidence in me.
Felix Wanyama is positive that his presence in Bukembe High School will bear fruits both in curriculum and co-curriculum activities.
I'm aware that this school is a giant in games, and save for COVID, we still have a very strong team, particularly in soccer, and we are only waiting for the program to be forwarded from the ministry so that we can begin, and many other games like basketball, rugby, volleyball, and others. So we want to make this school a complete school, both co-curricular and curriculum.
With a mean of 4.5 in last year's national examinations, the school principal, Mr. Felix Wanyama, has expressed his confidence that in the next national examinations, the school will register a higher mean.
Last year, the school had a mean of 4.5. And I've talked to the teachers plus the students, and I've agreed that we must move it upwards so that we restore the image of Bukembe School.
He is now calling on parents to admit their children in the school, which currently has a population of over 500 students, which is still a low number, putting into consideration that Bukembe High School is registered as a 4-stream school.
At that point, I want to encourage the parents, those who have students here and those who don't have, that the school is on the right path, and I want them to bring more students so that we can go to the 4th stream the way the school is registered.
Elsewhere, Matibo Primary School in Sirisia, Bungoma County, is pulling all odds to ensure the school runs without much dependence to the government for funds to run their operations.
The school is doing very well. Tumejaribu sana upande wa maendeleo, kwanza academics tumesongeza shule juu sana. You look at the school, ukiangalia kwa wall utapata tumekuwa na medias increase, tumesonga sana.
James Asenga, the school head teacher, says the school had to come up with an alternative way of making income to ensure the operations the school ran smoothly.
The major challenge is the financial constraints. That's a big challenge. You realize the misconception of FP, free primary education, it's not easy to solicit funds from the parents. If you ask for any money, the answer is that we have free primary education. So we have just to move, to go a mile, think outside the box, so that you can get some money to subsidize our programs. That's why you realize we have planted a lot of vegetables. We have our coffee, you take care of the coffee, so that when you get some input, after the input, when you get some output, a little money, we use it for developing the school. Otherwise, you cannot fully rely on the government funding. But we thank the government because equally that funding is in order. It also assists us.
He however notes some of the challenges experienced in the school, among them lack of enough teachers, poor maintenance of schools' properties, and lunch program.
You have also realized that in our classrooms, you have desks, but you have a very high rate of breakages. The children keep on breaking the desks every now and then. You know, when you are given free things, they are also expensive. Children are given free desks, so at times they don't take care. They break the desk anyhow. At times, you'll even find that they break the shutters, the windows, the window panes. At times, you'll find that some people are naturally negative. Whatever you do something good, they don't look at the positive side. They look at the negative side. Though we have some people who will support us, we also have some people who are just negative and they feel they are still in that old archaic way of thinking. They feel what you are doing is not the best. They want to live in the past. So those are challenges we have to go by. Then we have the issue of understaffing. You realize we have told you the population is very high in this school, but again the number of teachers remains. And we have also teachers who are retiring, or some have retired, they have not been replaced. Those are some of the challenges. Then you have the challenge of the food program. I've talked of the attitude. As much as this area is a basket of the food in this country, the attitude, when some parents assume that children will just be fed by what is got from the school. So at times it becomes difficult dealing with children who are hungry. All the same, we thank the parents and the stakeholders. They are supportive. 90% of the parents and stakeholders in this community are very supportive.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Rida Chebet Kering. Former Assistant Chief of Salawa in Baringo County, Joseph Malatit, has completed 354 kilometers from Kabarnet to Nairobi to create awareness and raise funds for the stalled Kabarnet Stadium. Mr. Malatit comes from Eron village in Salawa Division, Baringo Central Sub-County. He arrived back from the city after presenting his written proposals to Ministry of Sports Office in Nairobi with the hope that they will consider his wishes of having an ultra-modern stadium completed in time so that the youth are given the platform to expose their God-given talents.
Ile amani nilikuwa naye kutoka nyumbani mpaka Nairobi hakuna kitu ilinikusa. Tunaomba hii kiwanja itengenezwe. Silaumu mtu yeyote kwa hii kiwanja. Sisemi nani afanya kazi mimi. Mimi nasema resources katika Baringo ni chache ambayo haingewezekana kila kitu itengenezwe. Lakini kutembea kwangu basi. Safari yangu ilikuwa nifike kwa Safaricom na State House. Si ndivyo mlisikia? Kwa hivyo tunataka kwa ukumbusho ya moja MD yetu alikuwa miaka 24 kama president, hii kiwanja ichengwe kwa ukumbusho wake. Hiyo ilikuwa message yangu kwenda kwa ofisi ya rais. Si kwenda kuomba kitu. Tuombe rais atupatie pesa ya national government atenge iwe international stadium kwa Baringo kwa ukumbusho ya mzee.
Sisi ni county number 1. Lakini kwa mambo ya sports, mambo ya stadium, tutakuwa county karibu number 40, which is a great shame.
And a section of bar owners in Bungoma town have raised complaints over what they term as unfairness by the police officers while enforcing the 7 p.m. closure policy for bars and hotels. They say the police have shown partisanship in implementation of the social order rule while favoring bigger recreational centers, allowing them to operate beyond time. They want the law to be enforced equally. Philip Simiyu with that report.
Bungoma ni kama iko na wananchi mara mbili.
According to Jacinta Machasio, a bar owner in Bungoma town decries over unfairness during the reinforcement of 7 p.m. closure of bars operation by police officers.
Biashara, watu wengi hawana pesa mfukoni, na unajua kufanya biashara lazima watu wakuwe na pesa mfukoni ndio hasa wakuje kwa bar wakunywe ama kwa hiyo biashara nyingine wanunue. Watu kukosa pesa mfukoni imefanya biashara, na sio hata bar peke yake. Biashara Bungoma imerudi chini kabisa. Sio vile ilikuwa hizi miaka za nyuma tukifanya biashara.
Jacinta says that other bar operators have been allowed to work past 7 p.m. as others are forced to close at exactly 7 p.m.
Kwa hivyo sisi tunaomba ule mtu ako concerned ama wale wakubwa wanatuma maaskari kutembea usiku, wajue haswa hawa maaskari wakitoka huwa wanatolewa waende kuangalia mambo ya uhalifu ama kuokota pesa kwa mabaa na kufunga zingine. Kwa sababu mimi kama Jacinta, mimi roho yangu iwezi niruhusu nianze kupea askari hongo ati ndiye niruhusu nifungue baa. Mimi hiyo sitafanya. Lakini kitu ninaomba ni moja, baa kama ni kufunguliwa, kama sisi zote tunafaa kuenda beyond saa moja, tuende beyond saa moja. Lakini zingine kufunga saa moja na zingine zinaenda beyond, hiyo kweli kama watu wa Bungoma sidhani kama tutakubali.
They have nothing to give to officers to be allowed to work past the restricted time.
Kuna wadosi na kuna wale wa chini, kwa sababu ukiangalia biashara ya bar Bungoma town, wale wako na baa kubwa wanaendesha bar hata paka asubuhi. Lakini sisi ikifika saa moja askari wako kwa mlango yako wanataka ufunge. Sasa inatuma sana, ijapo wewe unafunga unaenda kwa nyumba saa moja na unapita kwa zile bar kubwa, music inapika juu, watu wamejaa ndani, mpaka unaangalia inakaa ileti picha mzuri. Na kama ni maaskari pia nasema kama ni bar kufungwa saa moja zote zifungwe saa moja, na kama ni kuenda paka asubuhi ama ile matime tulikata permit tufikishe, wawaachilie sisi zote tuende paka isoma saa.
Philip Wanjala and Lumumba Wekesa, the activists in Bungoma County, have criticized the security officers, calling on the county commissioner to intervene into the matter.
Na tunapofanya kazi yetu tumekuta ya kwamba wafanyabiashara, hasa wafanyabiashara wadogo wale wanaoendesha biashara za bar, wines and spirits, wana malalamishi kwamba wakati wana enforce, serikali ina enforce, haswa polisi wana enforce COVID protocols kama curfew, inatakana curfew iko saa 4. Sasa wafanyabiashara wanatakana kufunga before saa 4 biashara yao. Lakini sasa tunapata yale mabaa kubwa pengine maafisa wakubwa wa serikali wanakunywa hapa ama ni marafiki pale, na hasa maafisa wa polisi na wale ambao wanasimamia vitengo za usalama wanawawacha wale wanaendelea kufanya biashara yao kupita masaa ya curfew.
Wakisema ya kwamba basi nafungwa saa moja, sifungwe saa moja. Tusikuwe na mabaa zingine zinafanya mpaka saa 4 na zingine zinafunga saa moja.
However, Mr. Lumumba has called on the county government of Bungoma to rescue the business owners affected by COVID-19 pandemic.
Biashara Bungoma imerudi chini. Tukiangalia sisi huwa tunaangalia how revenue is being collected. Tunaona ya kwamba our revenue in Bungoma is always going down. Na it's because kuna upendeleo katika utendakazi wa collect your revenue. So we are only appealing to the CEC Finance ya kwamba let's consider these people who are struggling to do business so that Bungoma gets money, so that we get some stimulus package to them. Wananchi wapewe wafanye kazi kwa njia ya wazi na wataendelea kutoa.
County government, mimi nawaomba kitu moja. County government ya Bungoma pia imekuwa na mapendeleo. Kuna watu wanaenda kuomba loans. County government walileta pesa tupewe loans tufanye biashara. Lakini ukienda pale lazima tuwe una support mtu fulani ndio upewe loan. ama fulani, so hata imeogopesha watu kuenda.
For Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Philip Simiyu.
And a section of members from the Kenya Electrical Traders and Allied Workers Union have faulted the new KPLC Board of Management over the mismanagement of funds and frustrating all internally generated ideas in favor of non-actors in the sector. The members now claim their efforts to seek audience with the new board members have been futile, thus hampering smooth running of KPLC operations. Let's have a look.
The current board of Kenya Power has 4 board members. They are being referred in the energy cycles as the 4 musketeers. These 4 musketeers is led by none other than the chairman of the board. That is Vivian Yeda, who used to be an employee of a director at East African Development Bank. And she still thinks she is working there. We also have Caroline Kitonyi is among the 4 musketeers. There is also a Mr. Agudka, an Asian, who has an appetite of making sure all Kenya Power contracts go to Chinese and Indian farms. He doesn't want at all local farms. And then fourthly, and I'm sorry to say this because he's bereaved, Elizabeth Rogo Manduli. These are the characters who are now hell-bent in bringing down Kenya Power. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this is because virtually the management of Kenya Power is not operational. Management of Kenya Power have been intimidated. Management of Kenya Power, all their work now is being run by the board. We are just wondering how the government ended up appointing such characters.
And now to matters education. The education CS Professor George Magoha has told off those opposed to the competency-based curriculum, accusing them of propagating false information about the new education system. Speaking during a consultative forum in Nairobi that brought different players, Professor Magoha said the ministry is focused at ensuring the system was a success. Bushebi Jr. with full report on this.
Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has told off those criticizing the competency-based curriculum CBC, insisting that the government will not stop the implementation of the new education system.
We also know for sure that CBC is not perfect, but we also know for sure that it left the station in 2018, even before I was appointed through His Excellency's wisdom to be Cabinet Secretary. It has left that station, it is moving forward. And by the grace of God, I'm the one sitting on that horse whom you have said I'm sitting and looking back.
Professor Magoha described those seeking to have the new curricula halted as daydreamers, adding that the CBC is the most transformative thing he has ever seen. He was speaking on Tuesday during a breakfast meeting with education stakeholders to discuss concerns raised on the competency-based curriculum. Magoha dismissed concerns that the CBC is expensive and that is overburdening parents and children with work, but acknowledged there could be a few challenges that can be addressed along the way.
If it is politics, excuse me, I don't do it and leave me out of it. But I want to assure the nation and the parents that as far as we are concerned, we are going to do everything possible to ensure that CBC is a success.
Education stakeholders had poked holes on the reviewed curriculum with issues centered on quality assurance, teacher preparedness, the availability and adequacy of teaching materials, the level of engagement between teachers and parents, as well as the challenges faced by head teachers and teaching staff in implementing CBC.
In the remotest part of this country is not disadvantaged. We are providing teachers and we are paying them. We are going to continue to provide what is required. Stop distracting the parents. Stop confusing the 5 million children who are already hooked on the CBC that you are going to stop it through a court process. The trauma is too much and it is not necessary. If it is politics, it is not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
Magoha vehemently defended the CBC curriculum, saying no school is lagging behind. He challenged those with contrary information to come forth and present their evidence. Law Society of Kenya LSK President Nelson Harvey has threatened to present a petition challenging CBC with a suit expected to be filed by Friday, September 17th. In a statement on Twitter, Harvey said the petition is informed by cries from parents, guardians and teachers. The national rollout of competency-based curriculum started in January 2019 at pre-primary 1 and 2 and grades 1, 2 and 3 in lower primary. The 26333 curriculum was billed as the ultimate game changer in the country's education as it seeks to plug gaps noted under the 844 system of learning and cutthroat examinations.
It is a purpose and a journey which can only be strengthened because we know there is nothing permanent. Everything can always be improved, and it is something that we have a commitment to do.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambushabe Jr.
And tension is running high in Lugari, Kakamega County, following suspected bandit attacks that left 15 houses burnt and property worth millions destroyed. The retaliatory attack is said to have been carried out by a group of youth to revenge alleged killing of a man by the residents. Locals now want the government to beef up police patrol to forestall a repeat attack.
Nikaona watu wengi wamepepa matawa juu, wanaimba, wanashangilia sijui nini. Kufika kaketi nasema tumefika, ni mimi nikatoroka na watoto tukasimama pale. Ndio kaanza kuchoma nyumba kila kitu.
So wanatembea kila mahali wakitafuta nyumba. Ya wanachoma nyumba za ule mtu ambaye alikuwa either rafiki yake ama alikuwa rafiki yake wa kikanisa.
Nikiangalia mbele sioni, kuna wenye wanataka waende shule. Sioni, wamechoma kila kitu. Vitu za watoto zangu, hata mzee wangu ana mbele wala nyuma.
The coronavirus pandemic has reached almost every country in the world. Its spread has left national economies and businesses counting the cost as the government struggle with new lockdown measures to tackle the spread of the virus. Despite the development of new vaccines, many are still wondering what the recovery could look like. This is the consequences of coronavirus to traders with Anthony Osundwa.
As the struggle to fight with the low economy goes on, Kenyans seems to be having a unison tone of lament to either the county government or the national government over the restrictions given by the Ministry of Health on the COVID-19 pandemic. The small-scale businesses have been affected majorly by some of the restrictions given, such as masking, social distancing, curfews and lockdowns. We met Emmanuel Simiyu, a printer at the Aldrix area in Bungoma town in Bungoma County.
So mimi naitwa Emmanuel Simiyu, ndio majina ya kitambulisho, lakini jina ya kazi ni Manu Graphics. Manu Graphics ndio majina yangu, na mimi ni mzaliwa tu wa county ya Bungoma. Biashara nafanya branding business, whereby inafanya mambo na tuna print jerseys, t-shirts, hizi ma school items za watoto, and then tunafanya printing za posters, banners, na mostly ni design work alafu na painting. Vile vile pia tuko kwa production kidogo, tuna printer, tunafanya mambo na photography kidogo, video kidogo pia. Najua lazima tujaribu kuguza hapa na pale because branding business ni kitu wide sana. Yeah. Before ni tufungue duka, nilianza kama freelancer Freelancer hiyo ilikuwa 2018 2017 like an amateur. So nilikuwa tunatafuta tutorials online kidogo, natafuta tutorials nikifuata. So ikafika mahali kwa kuona ile haja kufungua biashara, whereby nikutana na baista yangu anaitwa Sham, ambayo tunafanya naye pia biashara, na another person anaitwa pia Boss Boy, mtu anajua kama Clavian. So tukapatana na tukaona now that we need a location, because freelance ilikuwa na challenges kibao. Mjana kwambia shop yako iko wapi, nimwambia mimi sina shop, nafanya freelance tu kwa laptop. So kuna ile aje tutafute a location ambayo msasa kuja ufanye design kama ako pale, alafu you print and produce. So biashara ilianza 2019. Before tuanze biashara nilikuwa dancer, dance kidogo, nikakuwa mwalimu. So kwa now biashara tuna base tu kwa branding, because branding nimekwambia it's very wide. Kuna vitu unafaa ufanye, kuna ile unaandikia msetu proposal, au unaandikia msetu proposal, unaunda design work na vitu kadhaa. So it's a wide thing. Unaweza mbona ufanye field work ama kuja ubaki tu ndani mambo na design tu.
Emmanuel says the ground has push and pulls from either competitors who have already established themselves or low economy caused by the restrictions given to curb the spread of the COVID-19 by the Ministry of Health.
Actually, tulikuwa a new business in town. Unajua ni kama tulikuwa in a infant stage tunaanza. So we were picking very well, unapata biashara zinakuja, unapata tenda kiasi 1-2 za shule mnafanya. But immediately through COVID ilikam, sisi ni wale watu ambao ili hit hard, because you are new in the market, by nafaa compete na wale watu wamekuwa kwa market more than 10 years. So unajua au in 10 years unajua mbinu za kusurvive, but you as an infant stage unapata ilikuwa a very big blow to us. Haba biashara ilirudi chini, wale class walikuwa mmeshika kiasi, shule zikafungwa. Then kwa tutategemea wale wase wa chama pia kupata mkutano wa aziko. So iko kwa very hard siku maneuver through vile COVID ili try. So sasa tu ni tuseme tu ni Mungu anatufanyia tunakuwa vile tuko hivi. Though COVID ilitupiga sana.
He says away from masking and social distancing, curfews have been affecting them majorly, as the printing business measures in the afternoon up to 9 or 10 in the night.
Especially kuja kwanza kwa hiyo time ya curfew. Unajua clients wengi hukuja masaa 8, that is afternoon, na mnafanya nao job hadi 8 9 ndio uko umedeliver. So utapata saa time kulikuwa na curfew 6 inafaa 6/7 uko kwa nyumba. Sasa unapata client anakuachia job, anataka udeliver nayo time. Naambia bro, mimi haiwezi, because time yenye tumepatiwa is very limited. So unapata client anakasirika, alafu job delivery on time. So ilikuwa sometimes una lose customer. Now that unajua sasa in a small scale, unapata ile speed yako unataka ufanye utafanya. So unajaribu tu kumkona tu, mwambie ni aje, ni hivi ndio nitafanya hivi, but star deliver on time. So nilikuwa a very major challenge. Alafu tena una mambo na sanitize, unaambia msee akuje hapa, akiingia kwa duka mwambie sanitize, sana kwambia sanitize ya nini, unaona. So it's like ilikuwa tu ni kitu a new culture ambayo imekuwa kwa society, but wase kuipick ilikuwa it takes very a long time ku pick. So ilikuwa ni kitu ngumu sana.
This makes him to lose customers who originally used to be served in that time limit, as he has to follow the restrictions to act as a loyal Kenyan.
Actually, customers will not behave before. Initially, msangi kupatia tu donor moja, akwambie, namwambia t-shirt ni bei fulani, hata msibishane. So kulikuwa na ile proper communication na msemo, mnaongeana tu poa, mnaelewana. But after COVID sana kwambia man, sasa hivi unanipatia hii t-shirt, unanipunuzia nitakula pia. Unaona vile sasa unareact. Of which set si mbaya ya kusema hivyo, ako right, but ni vile kuna vile pia anafinyo. Kuna incident moja, customer alikuja tukamwambia, "Hii nguo tunakutaka kuzia na hii pesa." msaka akatumbia usiwe nimebatu hivi bwana ufikia niko na pesa bwana iko huko je nikubaya. So kuna vile try nini alafu unapata price za vitu zina shoot zile materials za kutumia ku print pia na shoot nini fulani ya maybe tuseme t-shirt pia bei uko tunatonua before covid na saa hii imechange automatically hata ujui utambiaje customer upandishie pewe bei ndio bei kupandisha pia bado analalamika. Unaona analalamika sana anashindwa msata nifanya aje. Then license wise unajua inabidi umechip out. Ndio sasa unajua kitu tunapata hapa haiwezi sustain kulipa kila kitu because tukianza tulikuwa na movie shop tukaona return yake ile inaenda ikabidi tu cut out kwanza kwa biashara. So tukutubaki tu kwa moja ndio hiyo nini burden ya licensing isikuwe high na kuliko sahi. So actually ingekuwa maybe serikali ingesema juu ya covid maybe upunguze license but sana juu pia hawezi punguza wanataka pia make pesa. So inabidi tu umestruggle tu pate utafute msee alone kadam 1 2 ambe bro so do fulani ikienda nikifanya job yangu nakubishia. So ni every like license as in kifikata license pia like haija change tu bado iko tu vile ilikuwa. Customers pia kuna watu wana react unajua usipokuwa binadamu uweze ile binadamu mwenzako. So inabidi uende kwa kiti yake ama kwa kitu nyana kupitia ujaribu kuzana naye at least umconvince atoe anaweza toa hata kama itakuwa kidogo but to make sure party yangu sija ama party ya biashara ijaumia na pia ijaumia at least ya.
He also urges the national government of Kenya to make policies that can favor the small-scale businesses as they also face stiff competition from each other.
All of the government at least try to make policies in this favor hizi business zinakuja. Unajua uweze compete na big wig. Unajua kuna mtu amefanya biashara for long akona connection. Sasa sisi wenyewe tunakuja kwa biashara tunataka ku replace connection pia tupate. So at least kuko na policies ambazo ina favor kila msee. Ama sema labda hizi policies zitakuwa na favor this type of biashara ama business alafu na zenye zita favor all round biashara yote. And then ikifika ni time ya maybe licenses unajua sasa at least what try to cut down iko tu kidogo tu at least hata sisi mavijana unajua sasa hakuna job Kenya sasa hii. So at least tukipata mpenyo kama hii sisi try pia ku come up na something and at least tukiandika msemo mmoja hapa ama tukiwa hapa wase watatu alafu tupate at the end of the month tupate kama msemo ampata 1000 yake hii biashara bado itakuwa tuko na ile nini ya ita grow. So at least wakisema unajua sasa hiyo kwa high license itabidi ufungie biashara utafanya aje unaona juu pia bisa hii haiko tu kabisa. So ni vitu hapa at least kienda pale kuchukua at least hao sio pale ama government yenyewe itaikunda ile policy ambazo ita favor sisi young people that is the youth wenye wanakuja kufanya industry.
Emmanuel further pleads with other business personnel to always trust the process, be religious because through that restoration will always be achieved.
Kama tu mtu akienda kwa mfano if you go to a new place ama in a new environment mara ya kwanza so kuna kuwa na ile nini ile vitu ambazo zikufevi but ni kwa adapt tu kiasi na situation yenye iko kama ulikuwa una spend more maybe on something maybe cut kidogo hii kitu kingine hii ya juu ipe iende mali pengine same wise na nini hivi ndio inafika sasa Kenya ama dunia mzima ni God. So all of us si wote tuko na religion tunafuatilia na kwa religion uko ndani just make sure you pray to your God alafu atakupata tu ile grace ya kumove on because si ati si wenye tuko kwa biashara hadi si ni malaika sana ama si tuko very holy ni maana tuko kwa biashara inaendelea na wengine washafunga because wana big companies ambazo walikuwa wamefunga biashara si ati hawana do but hani ile ilikuwa tu wanajaribu cut cost lakini haiwezi. So tu ni ile tu try kama ulikuwa unapata ulikuwa una spend kama 50k kwa kitu fulani cut kidogo tu iende mahali pengine, at least service some zile vitu ambazo iko very.
The tone from Emmanuel Simiyu, a business personnel doing printing in Bungoma town, suggests that the COVID-19 pandemic has really hit the business personnel majorly in the western region. For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television, I'm Anthony Osundwa.
Well folks, that's all you had for Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Tibet Kerig and it's Tuesday, and today we have the Maisha Prime Education Talk. Make sure you don't miss out. My name is Rida Tibet Kerig.